How's it going, everyone? My name is Dean, or as you know me, Twisty, and today we're going to be going through the career mode, more specifically the pro career mode. We're going to be doing the rookie player career mode, but all of the things you will see in here will carry over to the listed player career mode as well, other than, I guess, starting from the bottom. Now we're here. So let's get into the rookie player career mode. So what you can do is if you go into rookie career mode, you basically get to pick where you want to start. The reason for this is obviously I want to give people the freedom as to where you want to start. Do you want to start as an AFL player? You can do that. If you want to start as an 18-year-old, or if you want to go all the way to the under-18s league, you can do that too and play as one of the under-18 teams. I think this is what you should be doing in rookie career mode personally, is you get to work your way all the way up from the under-18s to the big leagues. So let's just go. I'm going to go the Western Jets side here. We're going to go next. I'm going to just do it as a new player, just a default player. We're going to call him, what are we going to call him? Josh Wyatt. Going to give him the name Josh Wyatt, who of course you guys will know from my Brisbane Lions career mode in AFL Evolution 1. Whatever. He's going to be a key forward, and his preferred number was of course number 1, and he's born in the year 2000. Fantastic news, even though that makes him a 20-year-old, so we'll make him 2002 is the earliest we can make him. Okay, confirmed. So this is your new Pro Career Hub, and here are the important things you're going to want to look at. The first one will be your team status. The reason you want to look at this is because it also gives you your player status inside the team status, because this is what it does. It'll tell you how many games you have played this season, and it'll tell you your selection status for the under-18 championships, as well as your draft potential at the moment. So this is kind of how it works, is the more games you play, you get more points to level up your selection status, and the more match objectives you complete, the more your selection status will improve as well. And obviously if you do all of your match objectives and you play the game quite well and get a lot of ranking points, your draft round potential will keep going up and up and up until eventually you will be taken as pick 1 if you are good enough and complete all of your match objectives. Now, I've just simulated through the entire league. I've simulated through the entire league, which probably doesn't point out a lot of the things that would have happened. You would have played a couple of NAB Under-18 Championship games. If we go to our team status, it does say we would have been qualified for the Under-18 Championships. Now, Western Jets, I think you'd be playing for Vic Metro, not Vic Country, but don't quote me on that. I'm not a super expert at knowing the under-18 league. But basically, obviously, the more games you play, the more you get extra points if you play well in those under-18 championship games as well. And you also have the option in Pro Career to play as the team if you really want to. So it's completely up to you how you want to play. Now we've been KO'd from the under-18 league. What's going to happen next? This is where the draft will come into play and where you will be, I guess, situated in that draft pool. Now, I didn't check where I was possibly going to be taken, so hopefully we are taken in the draft at some point. What's my guy's name? Josh Wyatt. Here we go. Congratulations. Oh my god, this is so good. You have been drafted by the Brisbane Lions as their choice for draft pick number 78. So we did come a long way down the list, but we were taken by the Brisbane Lions, which, for those who would know, he actually was. But I think we took him at pick 1 or pick 2. In my career mode. So anyway, taken at pick 78, which means obviously if you simulate games, you're less likely to actually have your match objectives completed and things like that. And also depending on where you finish in the draft will determine where you end up for your team. So here at the moment, if we go to team status, our selection status currently has us at state level. Now you've got a few selection statuses that you'll get throughout the thing. You've got state level. You've also got, like, you know, fringe member, core member, and eventually, you know, you'll be part of the leadership group and the captain of the club. So one thing I want to point out here is this is a really important time for your pro player once they've been drafted. So once they've been drafted, all of a sudden you are now in the AFL system. You're in an AFL side, but you've got 2 opportunities to prove yourself throughout the MARSH Community Series. Now, these games are worth bonus experience points to actually getting your player into the AFL team. The reason for this is obviously, it's a tryout. You get to go in, not the Premiership season games, but you get to give yourself a crack here in the MARSH Community Series. If you listen to the coach and do your match objectives and play the games pretty well, you can get yourself selection points to possibly be selected for round 1. If not, you'll probably be back in whichever state league that is. For Brisbane, that would mean back in the NEFL. So, going to simulate these games. Completed a few match objectives. Also, your season objectives are just as important. They'll be worth more XP when you complete them compared to the match objectives. So now the MARSH Community Series complete, and unfortunately we haven't gained enough experience points to be into the main seasoned team. So here we go. It says, due to recent performance, your next matches will be played in the NEFL. Your performance will continue to be evaluated, and you may change the league you play in again. So this is obviously really cool. Now that you aren't in the senior side, you've got to play your way into the team from the NEFL. So good luck at doing that. The other side of things, I guess, is if you are taken higher up in the draft, you will actually have more. You'll start with a higher selection status. So if you are taken at pick 1 in the draft, you could potentially automatically be selected for round 1 without even having, a good performance in those preseason games. Obviously, the higher up you are, the higher your selection begins with. And eventually, hopefully, you'll find your way into the AFL side. So let's simulate through this NEFL season and see if it means that we can get ourselves into the AFL side. All right, so here we go. After round 14, we have done enough to get ourselves into the Toyota AFL Premiership season side. And if we go to our team status, we are on the radar for the selection. So you are definitely in the mix. There's a little bit of a chance you'll play if you're in on the radar. Same with fringe members. And it's not until you're a core member where you're automatically selected each week. So there's probably been a couple of injuries which have allowed us to get this position. So we've got 1 injured player, 1 suspended player, which means that we are in the side. So that is going to be it for the Pro Career section of AFL Evolution 2. Lots of stuff to cover in the new one here for Pro Career, and there's definitely a lot of a little bit of a learning curve to understanding, you do need to do those season objectives, those match objectives, and this is a game mode where they are really important because you need to understand how to play your role in the side, and it can't just be, getting 30 and kicking 10 goals each week. So, all right, I'm gonna just sim here to the end of the year, and we've already gone back into the NEFL. RIP. And if you are simulating games and you end up, we're back in the AFL side again. So we're basically a fringe member at this point. It will stop your simulation and it will automatically keep putting you back in whichever league you were just previously you were going to be in. So there we are in the NEFL as we head towards the back end of the AFL season. Hopefully this is a bit different for AFL Evo 2. And you guys are enjoying the Pro Career mode a bit more. If you got any suggestions on things you want to see in the game, as always, make sure you leave them down below and I'll make sure that they get to the right people so we can get them changed or maybe updated in a future version. What else would you like to see in this mode? Please let me know and we'll get on top of that.